James Thomas, the board chair for Mason County Economic Development Council. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jeff.
How are you doing?
I am doing well. Did you have a good weekend?
I did. It was a great weekend, and it looked like it was probably maybe the last nice weekend for a little while. So a lot of folks out there, and I know people have great opportunities to come into Mason County and experience the pumpkin patches and all sorts of things around here.
Absolutely.
It's always a good thing.
We're happy to have them.
Good luncheon last week. You guys
thank you.
at the PUD in the auditorium there, you along with PUD 3 and 1 had a luncheon, and it was encouraging to see so many folks come out and want to kind of understand a little more of what the EDC does and things like that. It's good to hear. I know you and I talk about this stuff a lot, but to have other folks come in and join the conversation.
Absolutely. And the distinguished and erudite Joel Meyer always does a fabulous job with his presentations, and he gave the keynote for that, of course, and I thought did a spectacular job.
Yeah, real interesting information how both PUDs in the county came about and how they've sustained over the years.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff.
Yes, it is.
Busy times doing in the EDC. It is October, the middle of October, and before too long, we'll start talking about another Expo that's coming back our way.
And in fact, let's talk about that now.
Well, then let's talk about it now.
Expo this year will be on December 7th,
okay.
And again, it will be at the casino. We will once again have Bill Connerly, who is a PhD economist trained at Duke University, will give the keynote.
Okay.
And again, this will highlight businesses in our region and especially business innovation. So
nice.
This is a fabulous opportunity for businesses in the 5-county region to strut their stuff and network and make some really good connections. We had about 400 attendees last year, and I expect that we'll have at least that this year.
Wow, very nice. And first thing, starting out the gate, it was here in Mason County, then moved to Thurston over the last few years, which notably is not part of that 5-county.
Oh, they are.
Is that part of that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
okay.
It's
but it's just that it started here and now it's come back here.
And it has come back here.
Good.
And I'd like to give a shout out to Michael Cade, who runs the EDC in Thurston.
Uh-huh.
He's been a great supporter of Mason County as well, and was directly involved in us getting it back here in Mason County. So
you need a lot of help and support in a variety of different ways, bringing in information, just collaborating with folks to talk about the needs of the communities. You have great camaraderies with the chambers around the area, the ports around the area as well. Indeed
we do. Each of us has our own special role in economic development. We have 5 ports in Mason County,
mm-hmm.
from tiny little Duato to the port of Shelton here. And the ports are involved in managing usually industrial and commercial land to give new businesses a place to call home. The chambers are very business oriented. They're membership organizations, and take a bit narrower view of business development, perhaps, than the EDC has to. We take a very broad view, and of course, our mission is to serve all Masonites, regardless of where they are in the community.
Okay.
And so. But we all work very closely together, and with the city as well, who also has Andy Andrus, who is their economic development person, and I'll use that to segue into Commissioner Schutte and I talked a week or two ago, and he asked me to set up developers conferences for the north side and again in the south side of Mason County.
Mm-hmm.
We have made big changes in some of the development regulations that have kept development down in Mason County for some years. This is especially crucial in the north end of the county, where the residents of Belfair really are struggling under the weight of their sewer system.
Yeah.
And
well, not only just Belfair, but the whole. If you're in a county resident, right? You're all kind of paying in on that sewer thing.
Well, yeah, up in that UGA. Yeah. And the only way out of that is through development to spread those costs over a larger number of people.
Right.
So there are issues right now in the comp plan update that address that. In fact, those of you with an interest in this, the Planning Commission will be talking about Belfair UGA development regs tonight.
Okay.
So,
what are some of the thoughts on this, and how is that area currently zoned, I guess, and what are you looking at?
Well, within the UGA, that's all pretty well set. The residential zoning and the commercial zoning there. What is changing, or what may change? This hasn't been voted on yet, but it's moving along.
Okay.
Are minor changes in density allowances, setbacks, things like that, to make it a little easier for developments to pencil out. There are two fairly large developments that have been planned, but they haven't moved forward because the existing development regs have just been too burdensome.
Huh.
So there's I think real opportunity there.
Multi-family dwellings and things like that? Apartments?
More single-family, unfortunately.
Oh, single families.
Yeah. We do need multi-family on both the north and south ends.
Yeah.
But that's a little different problem.
Okay. All right. Well, always a lot of good information there. What else are you looking at with the EDC moving forward over the next couple of weeks?
Well, I'd like to go back to these developers conferences and say that the city of Shelton has already made important strides in making their development regs a little more developer friendly.
Okay.
So we certainly want to encourage development in this area as well.
Yeah.
For all sorts of reasons, including SPI, Sierra Pacific, is having a difficult time finding places for its people to live.
Sure.
So,
sure.
Yeah.
Would these conferences you bring in, these are construction companies, development companies?
Developers, builders, exactly. And this will be we want to keep these relatively contained. These aren't going to be huge meetings, but we want to bring all of the principals together where builders and developers can talk to regulators and electeds and see if we can all work together to achieve some common goals.
Okay, well, good. Well, I guess we'll keep our eyes open for dates on those upcoming in both the south and north ends. And before we get out of here, what else? Anything else you'd like to pass along? I know we had a lot on our list, but
oh my goodness, we have.
We may not be able to get to it all today.
One of the things that's sort of interesting, I talk each week to businesses who have shown some interest, at least,
right,
in coming to Mason County. And one of them is a company based in San Francisco called Turo.
Mm-hmm.
Their model is to put visitors to a community who need a vehicle for some specific reason, together with vehicle owners in the community who want to make a few bucks by renting their car for a day or two.
I mean, people rent out their homes.
Absolutely.
Why not rent your car out?
It is the Airbnb of cars.
Interesting.
And I thought that would be particularly useful, for instance, at the airport.
Sure.
And I was shocked to find that we have not a single car rental agency in Mason County.
Huh.
There is a U-Haul if you'd like to rent a truck.
To rent a U-Haul, I mean, you get a great rate on a lot of folks, I suppose.
Yes, indeed.
Not quite maybe what you're looking for in a comfortable commute, though, between here and there. Interesting. Yep. Not a single
Not that I was able to find.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's definitely something to look into.
Yep.
Very neat. And how is the talks with them upcoming? And they're interested, or they're just talks that are happening?
Oh, I would say that that there's a very good chance that we'll do something with them here in Mason County. They're not going to open an office here. This is all an app-based operation. But it's one more little piece to the puzzle to make this a more inviting community for travelers and visitors. So.
Very interesting. Well, you can find a lot more out about the Economic Development Council of Mason County on their social media and online presence at choosemason.com, also on Twitter and Facebook as well. We will link to those coming up. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking with other great staff with the EDC, and we'll find out more that they are working on. James, always good talking with you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Jeff.
And we'll talk with you again soon.